Hello, I'm Sally Herman from Arizona, and I am a medical volunteer with Operation Smile.
Hi, I'm Doreenlove Serwah from Ghana, and I'm also a medical volunteer for Operation Smile.
Doreen, it's good to see you again. I've missed you so much.
I miss you too. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. I
have my friend here with me too.
How are you?
You had to make it too. I'm a volunteer with Operation Smile. I live in Arizona, and I met Doreen in Ghana as a clinical. I was a clinical coordinator, and she was in the recovery room. So that's how we met. I've been with Operation Smile since the year 2000. I've done some like 50 missions. Started off as recovery room nurse as she did, and then I went to clinical coordinator, and that's how we met in 2017. I think.
Okay, so I remember the first time I met Sally. It was my third mission in Ghana, and she was the clinical coordinator. I was the recovery room nurse, and I mean, it was my third mission. So even though I understood certain things, I really didn't have a hang on almost like everything. And I saw this lady, she was in total control and in command of the whole mission. And everybody was, this is the CC. And I'll look around and she has some things on the board and she kept moving things. Then she moved to the OR should come to the PACU to ensure that things were moving on well. And I was like, I was really in awe of her. And in fact, initially I was a bit I don't want to use that phrase. I didn't know how if I approach her she would be. But I was very curious. So I went to her and I asked her, hi, my name is Doreen. And I asked her what she does on the mission and what she was moving on the board and all that. And she was very open and friendly and she explained a few things to me. So that was the very first time I met Sally. And that was even before I started being trained as a clinical coordinator. Sally, do you remember?
Yes, I remember that. What struck me was your curiosity, because we always looked at, as clinical coordinators, we're always on the lookout for other people to train. And so what really stood out with Doreen is her curiosity and to see the big picture, because a lot of nurses just stay in their area and they're comfortable with their area, and that's great. They become expertise in that area. But every once in a while, someone jumps out of their area and has a curiosity of how this whole mission works, because it's a global outlook. And so those kind of people are really intriguing to me, and I always look out for those kind of people, because it takes, as a clinical coordinator, somebody that sees the whole picture and not just one area. So a manager of people and of a whole area, of all the areas that are in a mission. So that's what struck me. It's like, hey, this girl, even though she's done only 3 missions, she's really curious on how the whole thing works, and not many nurses reach out and do that. So that's what struck me, as this girl might have potential to be, a clinical coordinator.
Thank you. So I remember when I was asked to be, if I was interested in being a clinical coordinator, I knew I could do it, but I wasn't so sure of myself. I was like, I have been to just 3 missions, and being a clinical coordinator is a lot of hard work. You have to have like 100 eyes. You are seeing everything. You don't have to miss anything. But then I had a lot of encouragement from people, and then I learned that Sally was going to be my mentor. She was going to train me. So I was like, okay, if Sally is going to train, then I'm more comfortable, because I had already approached her on a previous mission, and I liked the way she took her time to explain things to me, and I was already comfortable with her. So I was very happy that it was Sally who was going to train me. So we started the process. She was very, very she was very patient. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Sally really inspires me. She's very thorough in how she does her things and she explains the rationale behind everything. And even if probably, sometimes there's an error and you say, oh, Sally, I've seen this error. She was like, oh, okay. And then she will accept it and then we'll move on. And I really, really respect her. Sally, thank you for training me. Thank you.
You were really easy to train because you really wanted to learn and you took it on and you had the initiative and you already were popular among the people, which is also a really good thing too, to have respect among your people. Yeah, it was a joy. It was a joy to see you grow and trained and become a coordinator.
And from you, I have learned that to inspire others is more of actions than words. And I have to live up to the ideal. I've had people I've mentored, and I learned from you to be patient with them because it's not everybody who will understand things or the principles as easily as other people. So I need patience to encourage them. And then also, one thing I learned from you is to take the good out of even the situation which I think is bad. And there's a positive lesson out of every situation. And also the fact that I even have people who are learning from me, people I'm mentoring, forces me to go the extra mile because I want them to see in me what I saw in you.
You get hooked. It's like then they call you, and I could never turn them down. I was like, no way, because the feeling that you get, it's so magical. Even after 50 missions, it's magical when you bring that child out to the mother and the mother starts crying. I still cry. Like it's
yes,
magic.
I've seen you cry a couple of times.
But I got started. I was born cross-sighted when I was younger, and I had like 3 or 4 operations. My parents struggled to find somewhere how to fix my eyes. And so that always impacted me. I knew that from that experience, I wanted to be a nurse and help people because I got help because I know what it was like to feel, like people looking at you and staring at you and bullying you, kind of like that, So when I became a nurse, I remember I set out to do missions. I started with medical missions. I took medical teams, but there's something about medical teams that you don't see the results. You don't know if people will get better or not. You give them a few pills and you don't know. When I heard about Operation Smile, because I was a pediatric nurse, I saw a sign on one of the hallways at our hospital. I said, that is what I want to do. So I applied, and it took a while, and I was like waiting. Finally, I got accepted, and I went on my first mission to Kenya. And I just will never forget that in the recovery room, there was the old country man. He was like 70 years old, and he had a bilateral. His face was really bad, and we fixed him all up. And I brought his wife in, and he told his wife to bend down, and so she bent down, and he kissed her for the first time. And that hooked me. It was like, yeah, I'm never going back. I'm always doing these missions. I'll never do another type of mission because it's life-changing when you see it, and you get to be in that enraptured moment. And then not only that is you get a whole lot of friends from all over the world that I still have contact with. That it's heartfelt. It's like part of your heart. Like you'll always be in my heart. It's like a feeling that when you're down, and like here in the U.S. you're feeling a little down, you think of your friends all over the place, and you get lifted up. And it's just I can't even tell you how it's improved my life. It's made my life so rich, simple.
I think I agree with you on that because apart from seeing the joy of the patients and their relatives face, the connections that you make, the friends outside your home country, there's a lot of learning go on in missions. Even in Ghana, we have people from different parts of Ghana coming, and I realize that I've learned so much from them. So how much more those outside the country? You learn so much, not only probably about dancing, but about how to coexist with people from different countries. You learn about people, their cultures, and it's nice. Like you said, sometimes if I'm down, you could take a phone, you send a message to somebody, or somebody might even just send you a message and you see that, oh, this person just lifted my spirits up. It's been during this COVID times that I've really connected with most of my friends. I met through Operation Smile because we've had more time. I mean, people have lots of free time. So we communicate, we talk about missions, how we are missing missions and all that. And honestly, I can't wait for this pandemic to be over and then we go on missions. Yeah. So talking about the pandemic, how have you been affected by the COVID-19 and how are you holding on?
It's hard here. Arizona now is one of the worst states, along with Florida, affected by COVID. And so I'm a transport nurse, and so we're transporting really sick patients from hospital to hospital to find beds for these patients because one ICU can't handle the patient or one ER can't handle the patient. So we have to transport them to a hospital that has an empty bed for that patient. And so it's a lot of hard work. Not only is it like 115 degrees in Arizona right now, but then you have to get all dressed up and I don't know, the mask and everything else, and then transport this very sick patient on lots of drips and ventilator and get them to another ICU. It's wearing. It's really, yeah. I'm ready for it to be over. It's hard.
Oh,
we were
okay.
affected at first, but now it's going crazy here.
Wow. Here in Ghana too, our cases just keeps increasing, and I mean we've had a few deaths. I mean, not our deaths are not so much as compared to the US, and of course the US is bigger than in Ghana, but we've also had our fair share.
I mean, I think the respect among nurses and the first responders and stuff has gone up in the United States for us, but in reality, it's what we do every day. I mean, we risk our lives every single day. I mean, it's really nothing different than what we do on a daily basis. We are exposed to all kinds of diseases on a daily basis. So, but this has gotten us more recognition about how exposed we really are. But, you know, there's a million other diseases too that we get exposed to, that we walk into because we want to help. Yeah, it's brought a bigger realization of what all the first responders do, you know, the nurses, the doctors, the technicians, the housekeepers, all those people, all of them stand in harm's way for another person. And it's commendable. It really is. I mean, it should be a unifying force among our health field. It should be like on a mission where everybody's on the same plateau. Like here, when we work together in our secular jobs or whatever, I mean, we have hierarchies of personalities, but like it should bring us all together because we're all working for the same cause, you know, just like on Operation Smile, there's no hierarchy of somebody's better than another person because we're all working really hard. And anybody that's in the health field right now is a hero, I think, but they do it every day. It's not like just because COVID's here, we're doing it. We do it every day. You know,
it's because the whole world is talking about COVID. That's why people are now really seeing that this is what nurses do, or even every health worker, and even the non-health workers who are helping make our work easy.
Doreen, thanks for being a representative of hope for your kids that you meet that have cleft lips and palates, and a representative of Operation Smile. And I miss you so much. And I hope that we get to see each other again. But now that you're a coordinator, we'll never get to be on the same mission.
Until then, we'll be sending messages and all that. It's really been great talking to you.
Hi, I'm Laura.
Hi, I'm Allie.
Thank you so much for watching this week's episode of Behind the Smiles. We love that you're taking the time to learn more about the work we're doing to help children born with cleft around the world.
And if you'd like to donate or volunteer, make sure to check out the links in the description box below.
Don't forget to answer this week's question in the comments down below.
And subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss a video. We post every other Wednesday.